You join us backstage at the American leg of the qualifiers for the Pro Wrestling World Cup, joined now by David Starr. David, I was going to run through all of your nicknames, but it might be quicker.
How much time do we
have? It might
have,
be quicker if you do it.
Yeah. Oh man, I got these. Bing bang boom. I am the cream in your coffee. Your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, the Jewish canon, the physical embodiment of charisma, the most entertaining man in professional wrestling, Mr. American Rana, Davey Wrestling, the 104-minute man. The main event, I'm really good at Twitter, the king of taunts, the product David Starr. And I'm also the three-time WXW shotgun champion. I'm the only three-time champion.
The current champ? Oh,
yeah, the only one ever to hold it 3 times, and I'm the only American ever to hold it. Man.
How is that to have such a prestigious championship and to hold it, as you say, the only person to hold it for three reigns?
It's pretty awesome. I've pretty much solidified myself as the best WXW shotgun champion ever. So that's really cool. And it's only continuing to build. Wrestling for WXW is really, really cool. It's one of the places that everybody seems to want to get to, always. It's probably the best company in mainland Europe. It's really awesome to be able to carry a championship for them and represent them everywhere I go.
Now, I read somewhere that you first wanted to be a wrestler aged 5.
Yeah.
What was the match that you saw that made you want to get into wrestling?
Come on, WrestleMania 12, Shawn vs. Brett. You know, it had to be that. I was 5 years old and was able to stick to a 60-minute Iron Man match, which would probably say something about my attention span for wrestling.
And then you got into amateur wrestling at 7 years old, but am I right in thinking there was a little bit of a confusion in terms of what you thought the wrestling was?
I thought it was pro wrestling. I didn't know amateur wrestling was a real thing, and I went into the practice room and there was no ropes and I was really confused. And I actually ended up powerbombing a kid after practice. Like, you know, because we all watched wrestling, so we all started doing everything, and I powerbombed a kid and he quit.
He never kept going?
Yeah, I mean, I did start crying when he started crying. But yeah, no, he quit. He never came back. But then I stuck with it through university and everything, and it was awesome.
Who were some of your pro wrestling influences growing up? Aside from obviously the match that you saw, who else did you look at?
I mean, my favorite wrestler of all time is Superstar Billy Graham. I mean, it's hard to not have him just pop off on the camera for you. He looked so different. He had long blonde hair when everyone had like short dark hair, and he had the long big sideburns. No one else had like facial hair unless you just had a beard. He was wearing tie-dye long tights. Everyone was wearing dark colored trunks. He looked like a bodybuilder. Everyone looked like a power lifter. So Superstar was the best. Then obviously Flair and Dusty and all those guys, Jericho and Shawn. Those are the kind of athletes I was attracted to.
And you were the fastest wrestling graduate from the Wild Samoans, which is an incredible achievement.
It was cool. It's cool, man. It's just a great place to be.
And as you mentioned with your nicknames, you are a very charismatic man. I watched the mini doc of yours that's on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
I'm really good.
Yeah.
Which is on there. You know, your I'm awesome, your charisma. What was the inspiration behind that, and why did you think that would work best for you to get you out?
Dude, that kind of attitude and those kind of athletes that portrayed that kind of attitude were always my favorite. Like I know Floyd Mayweather's like not a good human being, but I love him as an athlete. Like I love Conor McGregor. I love watching like Muhammad Ali stuff. I love again Superstar Billy Graham, Ric Flair. Those type of athletes. T.O. like Terrell Owens, who was an American football player. Like those type of guys were the ones who I gravitated towards. The ones who just like talked trash but backed it up. Those are my favorite type of athletes. So I just thought that why not? You know, do that. I turn my volume up a little bit.
Turn it up to 11, I think.
Turn it up to 11, yeah. Spinal Tap.
Yeah. And you saw that a little bit in your match with Bobby Fish. They're talking. I suppose it's one of those of there's a lot of people who are very talented, obviously, in the ring, but it's making yourself stand out by doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess it's wrestling's a different style of combat sports. You know, like there's obviously showmanship that has to go into it as well in order to. Because at the end of the day, whether you're like an MMA guy, whether you're a boxer, whether you're some other kind of combat sport athlete, such as professional wrestling, the name of the game is to be those main events, is to be the top guy on the card, the one that everyone wants to come to see. And there's a part of showmanship that goes with that. And wrestling is just, you know, you got to do that a little bit more, while you still have to be able to deliver in the ring.
Now, to go slightly off topic there, you mentioned Mayweather and McGregor.
Yeah.
Care to make a prediction for that match?
Oh, I mean, so my heart wants to say that it will be like a good fight. But I mean, like if McGregor goes out and tries to box Floyd Mayweather, it's not even going to be close. Floyd Mayweather's possibly the best boxer ever. If McGregor goes out there and tries to swing randomly, I mean, still, I don't know if he can touch Floyd. I might actually put money on McGregor for first round knockout and overall, because just like
Power in that
if it's
round.
gonna happen,
Yeah.
like I mean I think it was like if you put down like $100 on that or something like that, it was like you'd win back like $5,000 or something. So I mean, you know, whatever.
Who knows?
But I think Mayweather's most likely. Mayweather's gonna. It's not even close.
You mentioned another one of your nicknames is the 104-minute man,
Yeah.
because of an Ironman match that you did that went 104 minutes. Tell us a little bit about that.
So me and Dave Christ, who's a great professional wrestler, he actually just signed to GFW, and we had this long feud in Ohio, and it culminated to an Ironman match that went 60 minutes. There was nothing after 60 minutes. They unplugged the clock and went another 44. And it was just one of those. It was awesome. It's always something I wanted to do because like I love Flair and I love, like I said, like Superstar and all those and Dusty and all those old school wrestling. They always went. A lot of times they went those 60-minute matches. So I wanted to do something like that, and it was cool that I got to be able to do that with somebody who is awesome and a great friend of mine.
And how
Beat the
was
hell out of each
that
other.
going 104 minutes though? 'Cause-
tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tiring, man. I mean,
What do you do when you hit that 60-minute mark and think I've still got another 44 to go?
well, like they could have made it a draw, and then the fans just wanted a sudden death, and we're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do it, and we just kept going and kept going and kept going, just kept going, and then you just get it's at some point it just becomes determination and just you're just pushing yourself through, and then once that final bell rings and it's over, it's like, just, I had a match the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a match.
How was that waking up the next morning and knowing that?
It was rough. You're sore and everything. Oh, it was rough. It was rough.
David, one final thing I wanted to mention to you. I heard a rumor about yours. Is it true you've got a notebook of every single match that you've wrestled? A bit like Jericho.
I do. I have a notebook with every single match I've had in there, and I'm actually working right now. I just picked up a laptop. I haven't had one since I was in university, and it was pretty terrible to begin with. The laptop was real cheap, like a Dell, like one of those random things you get for like nothing. I'm working on taking everything in my notebook and putting it and like digitizing it, and I want to put it onto my website, theproductds.com, and have it. The goal is for it to be searchable match database, so that someone can go online. You can go to the match listing, type in like Bobby Fish, and you'd see all the matches I've had with Bobby Fish. That'd be like listed there, the date, where it was, what company, and then for matches I'm able to provide like a link for it or something like that, or direct you to where you can purchase it or where you can see it. That's what the goal is. That's what I want to include. So I'm going to put that onto my website, and that's what I'm working on right now.
David, that'd be amazing. Thank you so much for chatting to
Oh,
us.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.